everyone, good morning. We are 2 days left in this market, and this is kind of where I think, like, is this the calm before the storm? Because this week we've had quarterlies, they've started, but next week is like where quarterlies are just like I mean, they're just like, this is when it starts. So this is where I think Wall Street, everyone is looking in to see what the next round of this third quarterly basis is for all these companies, because this is really it. This is it. This is going to tell us a lot about what the rest of the year is going to show, especially with a lot of this conversation right now, positive and negative, of the AI bubble. This is where a lot of things are going, where rubber hits the road here. And this is going to be where, a lot of this conversation is really pointing towards evidence of, are these AI companies continuing to blow expectation and, in the right way, like just completely blow away the bears here. And I think a lot of that's going to be answered. And two, where's retail? What is retail doing? What are we about to see here? With that conversation, Sofi will be releasing quarterlies here, and that is going to be something that I think Wall Street's going to be looking at. Retail investors are going to be looking at. Big, little, middle money, everyone will be here paying attention to what is going on with Sofi. So I want to talk about Sofi real fast, and I want to talk about Applied Digital too, because I'm getting so many people like, Applied Digital, I've been talking about that stock since it was $4 or $5, and now it's almost a $30 stock. The valuation on that stock is insane. So I want to be completely honest about how I feel about that stock, and it's an AI stock. Obviously, it's in that bubble. So I want to just lay it out there, how what I'm mentally thinking about that stock right now. But Sofi here, I mean, this right now, this is a situation that is just, it's going to do what it's going to do here. Sofi is waiting. It is waiting, and it is pretty much a dragon in a cave that's about to release again here, because we've got quarterlies coming up. We've got this October deadline of 29th of, hey, looks like we possibly will get another rate cut. The market's already pricing in that rate cut, as it does. And today, yesterday, the S&P 500 broke another record once again, and it's very much looking like Tom Lee is, and a lot of people too, not just Tom Lee, they're going to get that 7,000 point range they've been talking about on the S&P 500. I mean, it's just what's happening here. It's a situation of, obviously Sofi is not a tech stock, and that's where some arguing starts, because a lot of people go, whoa, right there. And I get it, because I love Sofi. I mean, I'm trust me, I'm drinking the juice with Sofi here. I think this is going to be, a staple in, just culture in the next decade here, in just, business, people using it. Everyone, 3 out of 10 people have a Sofi account or a credit card, something. But what I do think is happening too is that, and I'm very much in the realm too, I'll say this, I'm in this bubble right now of where I do think Sofi is attached to tech, very much so. But obviously the fundamental, basic bread and butter pillars of it are, it's a bank. Okay, great. But in that, Sofi has done so well because it's pushed into technology. It has really done that, and they continue to do that. That's really what has separated them apart from a lot of big banks out there. I mean, I don't want to name names, but the big banks out there. Sofi has not been, like, we got to build another bank. They have been focusing and putting money into, advertisement and, their whole thing, their app, their website. That is pretty much their weapon to use. And that's what they've done. And they have gathered up so many of the young generation with that. And that is like an investment in an investment. Okay, I know I've talked about this, but it's so important because it's in the numbers with Sofi. Sofi has gone after, a young crowd, and they're opening bank accounts. Well, they're going to have credit cards, loans, all kinds of different loans, car loans, house loans, business loans, private loans, whatever it be. And two, Sofi getting into this whole crypto thing, and whatever crypto is going to look like in 3, 4, 5, 10 years, which I think it's just going to do very well here. I don't think crypto is going anywhere by any means. So with that investment, Sofi is investing in its investment, essentially with this younger generation, that they are going to continue to need and want and store their money with SoFi. And we're seeing that's why you're seeing revenue increase a lot here. SoFi is getting used a lot more. It's becoming very popular. I mean, even when you're on YouTube, like a SoFi advertisement comes up, it's very much becoming this trademark banking emblem symbol out there. Great. And it's understandable. I've talked about this many times, but like if you have a SoFi account, you'll get the hype pretty fast. You'll get it. It's amazing for free when you make an account with them, what they offer you and how simple they are to use and fast. I mean, just fast, to the point, significance of just what they are. It's amazing. But I really think this is the key, next moments in time that we're about to see here, where, it's hard to say right now too, because the government shut down. How much longer is this going to go on? That job report that was supposed to come out a week ago, it may just not come out. And, what's interesting too is next week we've got earnings. And then on top of that, we've got the feds are supposed to say some pretty significant things next week too. Are they? I don't know. Is the government going to be open? Are we ever going to see that September job reports? Who knows? So the feds may just go all right, we know what we know from when we knew it. We're just going to do the rate cut. It's not even that big a one. It's 25 basis points on top of the last one. And we'll just go from there, and we'll talk again here in November, and we'll see what December, if we're going to do one then. It's very interesting. I mean, this is, I've said this time and time again, but if you're new in the market this year, I don't feel bad for you, but I guess I feel bad for someone that's new in the market this year, because this has been the most insane year with this market and what's been going on, because it's just been, nothing makes sense. It is literally Alice in Wonderland world here, the world that we're living in right now with the stock market. Things are incredibly high. And two, that's kind of, I said this yesterday in the video, but in the main channel, but it's obvious right now, anything that has to do with tech, that is in this realm of tech, is getting a tax on it, where you're having to pay this premium to be in the stock. Even companies that aren't even making revenue. They're not meeting quarterlies. Some of them have massive debt. I mean, there's plenty of them that I don't even talk about, because I'm and that's the thing too. People are why don't you talk about certain stocks that, a lot of stocks I don't talk about, because if I talk about them, people may go get into them. And I'm I just, even if I say something negative about them, I've done that, and people come on here and they're well, I bought it and, it went into a reverse split and I'm blaming you. And it's I didn't tell you to do that. But with the situation that we're seeing right now is that there is a premium on everything that has to do with tech. And SoFi is definitely a sliver in that conversation, because there's always been an argument with that camp that, SoFi is more than a bank. I totally get that. But yeah, I mean, friends, I think SoFi is just, I don't think this is a situation that's going to a fire that's going to burn out by any means. I think this is just kind of turning into a wildfire at this point. I think this is going to kind of continue right now, and just kind of, devastate the bears. And I don't even really know who's bearish on SoFi anymore. It's a hard situation to really go against. It really is like grit sand at this point, sandpaper. It hurts to go against it right now. So yeah, I'm very bullish on SoFi. I mean, just incredibly bullish. And, I think this new pattern that we're watching form here, this is obviously just a swing up and back into this $30 range. And this is just going to be the next peak where we're going to be playing around here. At the end of October, things could be really different in this market once again. It could just be another leg up. Once the S&P 500 more than likely hits that 7,000 point range that's being projected by Wall Street at this point, that's kind of where I'm whatever you're holding, you better be pretty shallow in it with the price range to be a lot of profit over your head with it, or you can get out of it quick, because I somewhat think the bubble will pop, but pop to a smaller bubble. Okay, I don't think this is like an AI bubble that's just gonna like disappear. I don't think all the AI bubble. I don't think all the AI companies are just gonna come out with bad quarterlies. I think there's gonna be a pop, and then there will be ones that survive the pop, and then that's where things will just start to blossom here again, maybe into a bigger bubble over the next 4 or 5 years. Who knows? But yeah. I just, that's kind of how I feel about it, and I'm just me. It doesn't mean I'm right. It just, this is kind of what I think the market is mutating right in front of us. I think it's AI is mutating into other things too. So Applied Digital, obviously, I mean, this is insane. I think this stock obviously is in the AI bubble. Okay, now obviously, here's what I want to say. Okay, I if you know, you know, I love this company. I love this stock. I think they are going to continue to do well. They have signed huge deals, huge achievements this year. It is completely amazing what this company has done this year. The valuation of this company right now is insane. It is insane. There are obviously other stocks on the market right now that are insanely even more highly priced up that don't make any sense. But this is kind of the normal thing in the market, especially right now. That's what I'm trying to say about that comment. Now, if you're like, what are you saying here? What are you saying? I will be the first one to tell you. I mean, Applied Digital is making great money. Now, they're not hitting quarterlies right now, but it's this weird situation where they're not hitting quarterlies, but they're making more money than they've really made in the past general year. So they've come into all this business, partnerships, deals, build on a lot of positive things, but spending incredible amounts of money too to get themselves somewhere more. I think Applied Digital, data center, network, all that kind of stuff is still it is going to be in the future of what is coming here. I mean, these data centers, I think somewhat are going to be like new power plants. You're just going to be driving and you're going to look over and be like, what the heck is that huge monstrosity of a structure over there? It's a data center. That's just kind of where things are going. And Applied to digital here, it's really, I mean, honestly, it's not crazy. I mean, it's just like, to me, I think a lot of people are like, this is kind of boring. I don't want to be part of it. But if you bought this thing even 3 weeks ago, I mean, you were in crazy Profitville. At this point, I think this stock is either going to continue on this hype train that is on, fantastic, great, or reality will set in and it will, push back down to an $18 to $25 to a $18 to a $15 range here, where it needs to probably be for a real valuation. I don't think a lot of people would argue about that. It is completely just insane right now what people are paying for this, and it's great. And who am I to say that this is not going to continue? Listen, I was projecting this thing at like $18-20 at the most. I am so out of range where this thing has gone now. And congratulations. That's all. I'm just saying congratulations to the people that rode this train with this. This is incredible. But I think there is high potential, take some profit for God's sake. I mean, I'm talking to the people that we've been here since $3, $4, $5, $10, $15. God's sakes, take some profit, because this is unstable ground where this is right now. But I think Applied Digital here will continue to do well and shock with the push of the AI bubble that we're in. And there's nothing wrong with calling it a bubble. I mean, that's what we're in. And I think a lot of us are like, okay, we're just going to ride this bubble into whatever the next bubble, smaller bubble, or whatever this next road is in the market. That's just what it is. Friends, I am going to be quiet now. I wish all of you the best of luck. What is going on in this overall market? There's crazy moves out here, crazy moves. So take care of yourself, friends. Bye-bye.